cannot believe I'm actually saying this. I am officially a published author. What? I gotta tell you, I have wanted to write a book forever. It's always been on my bucket list. It's always something that I've wanted to do, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And that's what we're gonna talk about here today. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the book, but I'm also gonna tell you a little bit about the behind the scenes journey to get here, because it has been a long road. And this book has taken 3 years to birth into the world. And for those of you who have birthed a child in any way, you understand that 3 years is a long time to carry something. 3 years is a long time to be growing something. You get kind of antsy towards the end, right? So I am so ready for this to be out in the world, to actually birth this book so that other people can read it, implement it in their business, help them find hidden profit, all the amazing things. I cannot stress enough how much I can't wait for you to read this book. So much so that we do have bonuses. So if you have not ordered yet, go order the book and then go claim your bonuses. JamieTrull.com/hidden profit. You can see what bonuses we currently have for ordering the book, because y'all, the book is amazing. You don't need bonuses. You don't need bonuses, but who doesn't love some bonuses? So definitely make sure to grab those if you have ordered the book. So I want to pull back the curtain a little bit on the behind the scenes of this journey and what it has looked like to get here, why I'm so excited for you to read the book, and then a little bit about what's actually covered in the book so you can decide if it's something that would be helpful to you or not. Now, of course, I hope and think you'll find it really useful, but I want you to see a little bit just to make sure it's right for you. So this journey actually started 3 years ago when I got an email in my inbox from someone that I had known for a while that had worked with a few friends of mine on their published books. And she's essentially a book coach. She was an editor. She is a fabulous, writer and someone to have on your team if you are wanting to go the traditional publishing route. So Megan Stevenson, thank you very much for reaching out. And all the email said was, is 2023 the year? That's it. And a question mark. And I knew what she meant because we had talked before about writing a book and how I wanted to do it. However, I had so much going on at the time. So we had talked in 2020 and 2021, which, let me be honest, if y'all were around, my business was insane during 2020 and into 2021 because of COVID and all the content I was doing around that. And I didn't have much of a team at the time. We were just trying to grow a team to keep up with it. And I just did not have time. There was just no way I was going to be able to dedicate enough time to writing a book and also being able to run my business with as much as I was doing. But thankfully, by this time of year in 2022, things had calmed down quite a bit. I had gotten more team members in place. I had support. And so when she wrote that email, I remember just feeling a full body yes. I literally felt a full body yes. 2023 is the year, right? And she meant to start the book, start the process of the book. And so we talked and we decided, okay, we're going to get started early 2023. We're going to start putting pen to paper on this book proposal. And so that's what I did. I had no idea what a book proposal was. Y'all, my book proposal ended up being 90 pages long. I thought it was like a couple pages summary of what you wanted to talk about. No, it is a whole thing in and of itself. So I'm so glad that I had support there with me to help me through that process and create what I consider to be a totally kick-ass proposal. And it was that proposal that then helped me to get an agent, which is what I shopped around for. About a year after deciding, yes, we're gonna do this, we started. It took about 9 months to write and edit the full proposal. And then we went shopping for agents, and I had my pick of agents, which was amazing. And I credit it entirely to having, I'm telling you, it was a great proposal. And then we went from agents to shopping around to editors, which is called going on submission. So I went on submission to editors. We did a couple different rounds, and I talked to several different editors, from the big 5 editors publishing companies to more indie publishing companies. I was trying to figure out what would be a good fit, and they were trying to figure out the same. And that was a really interesting process to go through as well and see, what does that publishing company want from you? What did they envision for the book? And there were a few publishing companies that they were interested, but their vision for the book was different than mine. And what I really wanted it to be was different. And so I was getting a little discouraged in the process. And then I found my editor. And it was like she completely understood what I was going for, who this book was for, why I wanted to write it, my heart behind it, and it was an easy yes. And they offered me a publishing deal, and it was a Big 5 publisher. It's actually being published by Simon Acumen, which is an imprint of Simon & Schuster, which is just crazy to me. In this process, I've gotten to go to the Simon & Schuster building and take a tour. I've gotten to do so many amazing things as a part of this. Like I can't even, I'm so grateful for this journey. But it didn't stop there, right? So now we have the deal with the publisher finally gets signed, and then it's time to actually sit down and write, right? And so I had a lot of it from the proposal, but there was a lot of rework that needed to be done. So just a lot of outlines and shifting chapters around, and like that part was kind of crazy. But I'm so glad that we went through it. The writing itself only took me about 4 months. But all the moving pieces and editing and, getting the right illustrations and tables in there and all of that took a lot of time. So basically it was about a year until the book was essentially finalized in its final form and is what you see today. So that's kind of where we have been in this process. I just got these books in the mail. I didn't realize I was going to be as emotional as I actually was when I opened them. I think that I think I've been so busy thinking about all the to-dos and things that I need to get done in this book launch that I sometimes can be a little disconnected from being able to really take in the moment. And so opening the books in front of my family and my kids was like one of those moments where I was very present in that, and it hit me kind of all at once a little bit, and it was a little bit surprising. This just happened, which is why I'm tearing up thinking about it, because it really feels real now. And I know you're seeing this video, if you're watching it when it comes out, it's the week that my book is out, it is published. I am recording this a couple weeks in the past, so I'm not sure how I'm going to feel then, but I imagine if I feel this way even now, I can't imagine how it's going to feel to walk into my local bookstore and see my book on the shelf. Like I don't even know how to hold that right now. I don't have the capacity yet, but I will. It means so much, and I cannot wait for people to read it and find help in it, right? This is not a boring finance book. Y'all, I don't do boring finance stuff. Like, I'm a CPA, sure, but I don't want to talk like one. That's not helpful. I want to make it really easy to understand, easy to implement step by step, really strategic, but in a fun way, right? And I want to say that if you're looking for tough love, this book is not that. It may not be for you. This is a book that comes from a place of compassion, understanding, empathy. It's from a place of self-acceptance and self-forgiveness. That was really important for me in this. And if you're looking for one prescriptive way, the one way that you should do something for it to work for you, right? The one system around money that you should have in place, the one thing you should be doing in order to fix your whole problem with money, this isn't going to be it either. Because I do think there are so many ways that we can be financially healthy, and different things are going to work for different people. And so there is a part of this that is really about understanding yourself and what's going to work for you. And that's a little different than what you might find in other finance books that tell you always and never. I don't use those words. I hate those words. We're all different, right? Why would I try to come up with one system that works for all of us? In fact, so many people have told me they've tried a system, and when it didn't work for them, they blamed themselves rather than realizing that, hey, maybe we need to design a system around ourselves, a system for money around ourselves and the way we actually think about money. I don't do one size fits all advice, because we are not one size fits all people, right? So that's something that's different about this than maybe other books you might read around the topic. I'm going to tell you what the chapters are. There's 4 different sections in this book. And you'll notice I've got little starlings throughout. You'll see them throughout the book. You won't know what they mean until the very end. So that's your motivation to get to the end of this book. But you're going to have the introduction, and then you're going to have 4 different parts of this book. And the first part is part 1, which is know your numbers. And in that, we have why data matters, your financial statements, when numbers lie, and create your own performance metrics. So this is really the section that's around knowing your numbers, getting a feel for if you get confused when people are talking about balance sheets and what does that actually show, this is going to level set and give you some of that foundational knowledge that you need to know before we get into the rest of the book. Then in part 2, it is set up your management control room. I actually have a little picture of a control room as well that you'll be able to see in this section. So if y'all can see that on here, that's your control room. So we're going to talk about the fact that you are in control. You are the control room operator. So what types of management duties do you have? So chapter 5, manage your to-do list, then manage your cash flow, manage your budget, manage your risk, and manage yourself. Remember I talked about how we need to know ourselves. That chapter gets really into money personality types, and you can learn more about you. Then we have part 3, which is now when we're getting into the meat of this book and what it's really named after, which is hidden profit, right? This is find your hidden profit. So now that we understand our numbers, we know we're in control. Okay, now it's time to learn about the profit levers that we can pull, and we can actively go pull these levers and find hidden profit in our business that exists already. And so those chapters are become profitable, sell more, raise your prices. This is not just a blanket statement, raise your prices. We have calculators and all the things, formulas that'll help you determine what your prices should be. Mix it up, generate more value, cut unnecessary costs, not all costs, pay less taxes, carry less debt, make big profits. So that's, like I said, the meat of this book is in that section 3 on finding your hidden profit. And then we're going to go to part 4, which this is my favorite part actually. This is where we get to now dream big. So we've gotten through all the fundamental stuff. We found this hidden profit in our business that has allowed us to maximize our profit, pay ourselves more. What do we do with that money? What do we do with our profit? How do we meet the goals that we have for our business, our life, our family, our community, the world? We can do that. And that's where I talk about creating your profit plan and using that to then live out the way that you really want to live, right? No longer, working for your business. Your business is now working for you. So those chapters are make a plan for your profit, build your pot of profit, POT, prepare for the future, make it fun, make an impact, and there's power in numbers. And that's where you're going to learn more about our friends, these birds. Just to give you a overview, these birds are starlings. You'll find out why when you read the book. This book was actually called originally Power in Numbers. That was the working title of the book. That's a brand that I'm building, and we plan to have lots of amazing things that we're going to offer under the Power in Numbers umbrella. Stay tuned. But we ended up changing it. We probably went through hundreds of name and subtitle combinations, I gotta be honest, for this book. And I'm really happy with where we landed. I think it really captures the essence of what we're trying to get to. And so it's hidden profit, take control of your finances, stop leaving money on the table, and create abundance in your business. And I would also say, and life, but that was too long for them to put on here. So that's where we really ended up with this. And just to give you an even more behind the scenes, I was blown away when I got these to actually hold this in my hands. But y'all, one thing that surprised me, how pretty is this book under the cover? I love the cover. I love it, right? But how pretty is this blue? I mean, if you are one of those people that does like the beautiful organized books of different colors, like in color order, then you need one of these, right? And we've also got a little starling right here. I adore this. I love it so much. And y'all, that's me on a book jacket. What is this life? In all seriousness though, this journey has been transformational for me as a person, as a business owner, as a writer. I'm a writer, but I really am most looking forward to you all reading it, and hopefully you all sharing it, and hopefully you all reviewing it. And I want to hear how it helps you. I think that when you read it, there are various different things that you could get out of this. There's lots of moments in this book you can get out, but I would love everyone to have at least one major aha moment that changes things, right? That makes a difference, that changes the way you think about things, that changes what you do, how you act, how you think about money in your business. That is what I want for you and what I believe this book can really do. And you were who I wrote this for. This book was written mostly for business owners making under $1 million. And the reason for that is because the problems and challenges are different, right? When you're trying to scale from a solopreneur to having employees and figuring out all that goes with it, those are different problems than a multi-millionaire business is going to have. And so I wanted to make sure that there was a book for true small and micro businesses, for real people who are running businesses. This is not a book for businesses. This is a book for people. This is a book for entrepreneurs, for small business owners, for people who want to have their business help support their family, right? That's who this is for, not the big corporations, for you. This is my gift, my love letter to you and to the small business community. That is who I love. You are the backbone of this country, this world. And so I want you to have all the tools that you need to be successful in your business. So I would love for you to order the book and read the book, maybe gift it to a friend. I just want to be able to make a difference through the words on this page. And I cannot wait to hear what you think about it. So go check it out. Go anywhere books are sold. Go to jamietrull.com/hidden profit to make sure to claim your extra bonuses, because we do not want to leave anything on the table. We don't want to leave money on the table. We don't want to leave bonuses on the table. So go get those bonuses as well. And I'm so excited to hear what you think of it. We'll talk soon.